I feel like a lot of people weren't expecting a Nintendo Direct this week, and perhaps even less were expecting this Direct to feature Pokémon. So here's everything you missed in the third Pokémon Legends Z-A trailer. While at first glance it may not seem like too much new information was revealed, this trailer actually gives us a lot of insight into how the new real-time battle mechanics will work, and a better idea of the main gameplay of Z-A. But the trailer actually begins with a cinematic showcase of a few more returning Pokémon and Mega Evolutions, so let's first talk about the elephant in the room. No, not you, Kaparaja. Up front, I want to mention that, yes, I have seen the potential list of Mega Evolutions that were leaked, but I won't be talking about them in this video. One, because I don't want to spoil anyone that only wants to hear about officially revealed information, and two, because these leaks seemingly come from an early build of the game, so it's very possible that roster could change by the final release of Z-A. So let's get into what was officially revealed, as the trailer continues with a few shots of our character running and gliding through Lumiose City. This is followed by the Z-A starters gathered in a spot we hadn't seen them in any previous trailers, so I wonder if this could be another cutscene or a potential hint that you can send out multiple Pokemon at once like we could back in Legends Arceus. The next scene may look a bit more familiar though, as we saw a similar shot of Totodile sitting at the cafe with our trainer in the previous trailer. And I've speculated on whether this could just be a simple cutscene or have some actual gameplay implications, with my main theory being that this could be a way to increase our friendship with certain Pokemon, since we know bonding is a big part of Mega Evolution. Or this could be like the sandwiches from Scarlet and Violet, and you can order food that gets different Pokemon to spawn or other benefits in the field. We know there are a lot of cafes throughout Lumiose, but most of them didn't have much of a purpose, at least in the original X and Y, so maybe in this game they will. Moving on, we have a few more ambient shots of Lumiose, with this one in particular making me wonder if they just have no parking laws in this city, because there's way too many taxis in this plaza. But we also get an in-trailer view of the Lumiose map, which I did a full breakdown of, and there are a lot of interesting details hidden here, so make sure to check that out if you haven't already. The elemental monkeys finally show up, and though I'm honestly not the biggest fan of these little dudes, they were actually the last set of Pokemon yet to appear in any Switch games, so finally, everyone is here! But after a few more scenes of pure city vibes, we finally get into the good stuff. Well, actually there's still a couple more scenes of the wild zones, but keep in mind this trailer came out during a Nintendo Direct, so a lot of more casual fans may not have seen the previous Z-A trailer and need a little recap of some of the mechanics in this game, like how catching works similar to Legends Arceus, allowing you to throw balls at the wild Pokemon without the need to fight them. But we do get a new sort of confirmation that certain Pokemon will act aggressively even if we don't initiate the battle first. I'm suddenly getting flashbacks to being chased by the giant Snorlax in the Obsidian Field lands. Thankfully, it seems you can just run away, but I do wonder if this means there's a dedicated button to disengage, because you can see as the Krokorok is attacking, we still have the options visible in the bottom right corner to counterattack. But it almost seems like the player presses a specific button that makes them disappear, then giving us the chance to run away.
Why are you running?
Having safely escaped the jaws of a city gator, we get even more aesthetic shots of Lumiose, and then suddenly, night falls, and we finally get to the biggest reveal of this trailer. As the aura of Lumiose City changes, so do the holograms around the city, and we learn that in addition to the wild zones, at nighttime we also have red battle zones, where trainers are waiting to be challenged in a new tournament called the Z-A Royale. Now, one of my biggest gripes with Pokémon Legends Arceus was the severe lack of trainer battles, and it seems they're more than making up for this in Z-A, with tons of trainers waiting to be challenged after the sun sets. There are two ways for trainer battles to begin, with the first being a classic throwback to the days of Pokemon's past, when you lock eyes or get spotted by another trainer. Notice this bar at the top of the screen fills up as you get closer to being spotted, and if you do, then your opponent will have the upper hand as the battle begins, seemingly being able to get off a free attack before giving you the chance to respond. But this of course means the opposite is true too, because you can also get a sneak attack on the enemy by literally sneaking up behind them to hit the back shot. Attack from behind. Yeah, it doesn't sound much better. The official site mentions that you can even potentially knock out your opponent in one hit before they even see it coming, which sounds kinda like cheating to me, but I'll take the easy experience. And when I talk about experience, I don't just mean for your Pokemon to level up, because you, the player, also have a sort of level or ranking system in this Z-A Royale. As you defeat other trainers and complete side quests, which we'll get to soon enough, you'll receive ticket points that are tracked in the top right corner of the screen. And once this bar is maxed out, you'll receive a challenger's ticket that you can use to challenge a sort of mini-boss trainer. Win this battle and you'll get to rank up through the entire alphabet from Z all the way to A. You might be thinking, as a main gameplay loop, this all sounds a bit too grindy, especially the higher you get in the rankings. You'll need more points and have to do more battles. And the good news is there's a couple things to help you grind a bit quicker, mainly in the form of these holographic cards you can pick up within the battle zones that basically give you side quests to help max out the ticket points faster. If they seem familiar, that's because they're almost exactly like the Blueberry quest from the Scarlet and Violet DLC, though the website mentions these can only be found within the battle zones, and the actual objectives you get from them all appear to be battle related, so it seems catching wild Pokemon will be purely for team building and strengthening that team so they can be ready for battle when night falls. And a small but quite important detail on the website states that time management will be very important in this game, so I take this to mean you probably can't fast forward to day or nighttime. And there's even a screenshot that shows the battle zones activating, so I feel like if you're playing during the daytime and get caught as it's turning to night, you'll be stuck in that battle zone, which adds a little bit of that dangerous sense I love so much about Legends Arceus. But that doesn't mean you can't catch Pokemon at night too, as we definitely see the green wild zones are still active at the same time as the red zones, which likely means different Pokemon will appear at nighttime. And the opposite seems true too, because in the previous trailer you can see a trainer outside of the battle zone during the daytime. But you might have noticed one more color among these zones, the elusive yellow zone. The more I look at it, I honestly think it's just the green and red zones overlapping. Because if you look at the previous battle scene where the green and yellow zones overlap in the background, kinda looks yellow, doesn't it? Probably a lame explanation, but yellow in this game usually signifies a teleporter up to the rooftops, so I really don't think they'd have a different kind of yellow holograms to avoid confusion. But you might have noticed something else being tracked on the HUD. A currency that looked like gold coins with Prism Tower printed on them, and these are referred to as prize medals. They seem to be different from prize money though. As you can see in another screenshot, items can be purchased at the Pokemon Center, but the currency symbols are totally different. But to wrap up the battle zones, there's also a win streak you can see here, which I assume will reward you with more ticket points and seemingly more prize money the longer you keep that streak going. Because we all know clothes in Lumiose ain't cheap, and this trailer finally confirms we will 100% have character customization in this game. So needless to say, I'm pretty hyped. Speaking of our characters though, another small detail you might have missed are the potential canon names for the protagonists. And these can only be seen on the official Pokemon website as Paxton and Harmony. Kind of interesting, there are different names than Tawny and Urbane, because the big theory is that, like in previous Pokemon games, the rivals are just the opposite character from what you pick. But normally they have the same name, so why are these two different? Could they possibly be us from another timeline? Check out my previous video for more theories about that. But now let's finally talk Mega Evolutions, and really about the new battle system in general, because in the previous trailer many of you pointed out that Mega Evolutions appear to be on a timer in this game, and we actually got a lot more information about this. So let's begin with what I'm going to be calling the Mega Evolution Energy Meter, which I realize now is kind of a mouthful, but it's basically this circle you can see in the bottom right corner, only in battles where your character has a Pokemon capable of Mega Evolving. So it's a little strange to see it appear during this battle where our trainer's using a Diggersby, and many people have taken this to mean that Mega Diggersby is coming. However, if you pay attention to the next battle, you might notice there's a little toggle present to push in the right analog stick in order to Mega Evolve Alakazam. And the same goes for this screenshot on the website where you can clearly see it for Ampharos, meaning you can actually Mega Evolve in this game even outside of battle. Of course, once you do, it seems that timer will quickly start counting down, and it doesn't look like you can cancel out of a Mega Evolution once it's activated. So Mega Evolving while just walking around may not be the best use of your Mega Energy, but just think about how much aura you'd be farming. Going back to Diggersby though, this little button press command is nowhere to be seen, meaning this specific Pokemon can't Mega Evolve. or the trainer just hasn't found its Mega Stone yet, because if you pay close attention you'll notice both Alakazam and Ampharos have their respective Mega Stones visible over their icons, while Diggersby did not. So then why is the Mega Evolution meter there at all? Well, my guess would be that as long as you have any Pokemon holding their Mega Stone in your party, which for this trainer could either be Gengar or Ampharos, then the meter will appear. And this is actually proven by this battle in the first trailer where you can see we're using Lucario, but there's no Mega Meter, meaning they likely haven't found or equipped the Lucario Knight yet. So in the end, this doesn't 100% deconfirm Mega Diggersby, but it most definitely means this one in particular can't Mega Evolve. To wrap up this discussion, I wanted to point out a few more things I noticed about this mechanic. As you can see, there are 4 separate segments to this gauge, and they seem to fill up whenever you use attacks. And I mean just clicking your move, because if we really slow things down here, you'll notice that as soon as the player clicks Flash Cannon, we instantly get a little bit of juice in the Mega Meter. About half of a segment for using a single move. But this could have to do with the type of move you use, because you probably noticed that certain moves have this peculiar symbol next to their names. Many fans have been calling this C+. I mean, that is what it looks like at first glance, but I have a theory that this may not be the letter C at all, and instead just represent the Mega Evolution meter itself. And I literally just noticed while editing this that in the Lucario battle, when the meter is empty, the C+ moves are dimmed out, while in the Diggersby battle, when the meter is full, these C+ moves are lit up instead. But you probably noticed not every move has this symbol, with Diggersby in particular not having it on Dig. And of course, that's the move it decides to use, which makes it pretty hard to tell exactly what the difference is with these C+ moves. I've seen some people call it critical plus, like maybe these moves are guaranteed to crit, or maybe just do more damage. So my final theory is that perhaps these C+ moves could be similar to the move mastery mechanic from Legends Arceus, which if you don't remember meant your Pokemon had to master its attacks before it could utilize them in either Agile or Strong style. Of course, in Legends Z-A, those battle styles are gone, so maybe they've been replaced by these C+ moves. For example, like we saw with Diggersby, maybe it just learned Dig, so it can only use it regularly. But once it's mastered it, then you can use the powered up C+ version of Dig, as long as your Mega Energy meter is full. Which is honestly great that even non-Mega Evolved Pokemon can make use of this mechanic. How cool is it that Dig dodges moves in real time, by the way? Like, I'm so excited for this new battle system. Though it seemed like a whole lot of nothing was revealed at first, in the end this trailer was almost as packed with surprises as the first, and leaves us with one last teaser, as we see good boy Zygarde running through the moonlit streets of Lumiose. Then immediately cut to a pretty serious looking battle here between our Lucario and a mystery Pokemon shrouded in pink glowing energy. An energy that looks very similar to the pink glow surrounding the Mega Evolution meter. So could this be our first tease at a never before seen Mega Evolution? And if it is, I can't help but think it might be for Zygarde itself. But how crazy would it be if that Mega Zygarde actually ended up being for its 10% or dog form instead? Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and if I missed anything in this trailer that you caught, I'd love to read about it below. If you guys enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like and make sure to check out my other Legends Z-A breakdowns and theories in the playlist that'll pop up on screen shortly. And there's plenty more videos coming, so make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll catch you in the next one.